I'm gonna show you guys how to make the cutest little lounge short or pajama shorts. These are actually super easy to make, but we're gonna make this a two-part video. First, we're gonna make the pattern, and then we're gonna sew the shorts. Step one is making the pattern. Now, all we really need is some craft paper. We literally get this from Officeworks. Once we're happy with the final pattern, we then transfer it onto pattern cardboard, but this is fantastic to just play around with and get some patterns done. When I was younger, I used to use newspaper, I used to use baking paper, like anything that I could get my hands on to like make a little creation. Next is tape measure, a calculator, and some paper, scissors, and we're pretty much good to go. Oh, and a ruler. A ruler would be helpful for this stage. So we need a few measurements before we start because these pants are going to be made just for you. So the first one is our waist, pretty much where we're wanting the pants to sit. I'm going for my belly button, so I'm going to get that smallest part. We then need our hip, which is the largest part around our booty, just so then make sure that they are actually going to be baggy around that widest part. And then our thigh, which is directly underneath your booty and around your legs, the thickest part around your leg. Next is then this part. So this is where the pants are going to sit once they're on. So like I said before, I'm gonna make mine to my belly button and then kind of like mid-back back here. Now it's time for the calculations. Because we want these pants to be oversized, we're going to add 15 centimeters to the hip, the thigh, and then 5 centimeters to the waist and the under crutch section. Now this is basic pattern making. It's actually how I learned how to sew and make patterns, is actually making things for myself. Now because we're making one leg and cutting it into two, we need to divide the hip and the crutch section because we obviously don't need all of that fabric. First is a thigh measurement, so measure it out, making sure to put a center point in this position. Next is a leg length, so just go straight from the edge of that thigh measurement and put however long you want them. I've chosen 10 centimeters, but you can definitely go shorter. Once that leg measurement is in, we're then going to add the crutch and the booty width. So from the top of that straight seam that you've just made for the leg, you're going to measure out whatever measurement you have worked out for yourself. Next is the hip measurement. We want to make a center point line. So remember how we made that center point when we added the thigh? We just want to go straight up and down because this will help us when we're making the hip measurement, because you want to make sure that the center of that measurement is smack bang in the middle of this pattern. Once everything is dotted up, draw up all the lines. This is my favorite part because you can start to see the pattern come along, and if you feel like it's slightly off, you can start to make slight adjustments here and there. Now, because we want to make the front slightly shorter than the back, we want to take off a centimeter from the front and then add a centimeter for the back. That is then going to create a slope, which makes them so damn comfy when they're on. Also, do you love that we're just having like this semi-pattern masterclass here? Next is the crutch. We are going to keep a straight line going, and then about 10 centimeters down from the edge, we're going to scoop it in. This is going to make sure that once it's on, it's going to scoop in around your hoonie and your butt and make them oh so damn comfortable. Here's a better example on the other side. Look at that, we just freehand that, doesn't even matter. It will turn out, I promise you, I promise you. Now the elastic width is actually your waist measurement, so just measure that out and give it a cut. I think the biggest thing I learned is that it's okay to make mistakes. Like, this is a learning process. The first pair of pants you're gonna make from a pattern that you've created yourself is not gonna be 100% perfect, but you are going to learn so many skills by doing this, and it's the first step to making yourself beautiful clothes. Next step is choosing your fabric. Now, because we do have an elasticated waist, you can choose a non-stretched fabric. I, however, have chosen a stretch fabric because I wanted to match my bed top, and this is actually our underwear fabric. It is Chef's Absolute Kiss. So we're gonna cut this out, but we will see you back for part 2 when we sew these.